everyone. Hi, this is Tori Hallowell, and I'm here to talk today about how you can stop comparing yourself to others and instead find joy and inspiration. So for those of you who don't know me, like I said, my name is Tori Hallowell, and I help young professionals who are feeling burnt out in their careers and don't know what to do. Now, before we jump into today's topic, I just want to take a moment and share with everyone, with the world, my prayers and my love for those affected in Las Vegas today with the horrible event that took place. So just taking a moment to express gratitude for all those who helped and for who rescued in the hospitals, and just to send my prayers and my thoughts and my love to all those, like I said, who are affected. So that being said, I do want to take a few minutes to talk about comparison. This is something that I personally have been struggling with recently and on and off throughout my life, and that is comparing myself to others. This happened to me when I was younger. I would compare myself to other students, their grades. I would compare myself as an athlete to those who maybe were stronger or faster than me. And recently, I've been comparing myself as a coach and as a new entrepreneur. I am part of all of these wonderful entrepreneur online groups that offer support and advice and strategies, and I'm part of all these wonderful online coaching communities that do the same. And I have learned a lot through these groups, but I have also found myself starting to compare myself to others. Maybe I'm not working as many hours as other entrepreneurs, or maybe I don't have as many clients as other coaches, or I don't have as many freebie gifts. Whatever it is, I have found myself starting to compare where I am in my own process, in my own journey, where other people are. And I tend to do this when I'm, having a moment of self-doubt or insecurity, when I, have had a frustrating moment or day. This is where my thoughts tend to leave, kind of in this negative spiral. And I luckily have noticed this trend and have decided to talk about it and to do some research and figuring out, where does this come from and what are some easy steps that I've actually started to take and that hopefully you can also start to take to start fighting this comparison demon sometimes that creeps up in our lives. And as I've started to work on myself, I've actually been more aware of also some friends and clients who also struggle with comparison. Comparison, it comes up in our jobs, if we're comparing ourselves to our colleagues or to friends who maybe, have gotten a promotion or a job change or a job title, and you kind of feel like maybe you are falling behind. Or maybe you're comparing yourself to friends who have gotten engaged or married or having kids, and you're starting to feel like, oh, I want to do that too, and I'm not there yet. It could be simple, like you're comparing your workout to workouts at friends or even strangers at the gym. Like maybe you are like, okay, I'm going to go and do an hour worth of working out, and then all of a sudden you're at the gym and you're comparing yourself to others who are there, and you might not even know them. And you can also find you're comparing yourself, a lot of it happens on social media. You see friends' vacations or strangers' vacations or how they're living their life. And, if you are having a rough day, if you are having moments of self-doubt, it can really start to spiral. And when you start to compare yourself to others, a lot of times it leads to resentment, it can lead to anxiety, it can lead to kind of just the depraving of joy and happiness. And when you're feeling extra anxious or feeling that resentment or that negativity, that can spiral and lead, be a cause and effect of burnout. And that can lead to issues and problems in your relationships, in your job, and also just the relationship with yourself. So when you think about comparing yourself to others, and a lot of times this does now happen on social media, Facebook and Instagram and on other online sites and platforms, think of how much time, first of all, you're wasting, right? You're wasting all these precious moments of life, of your own life, comparing yourself to others, and where is that really getting you? How is that actually improving or positively affecting your life? It's not, and so you're wasting your time, and you're wasting those minutes or hours, hopefully not hours, but you're wasting that time where you could be more productive in your own life. Like I also said, this leads to kind of a drain of energy. It kind of shuts you down. You tend to, or at least I tend to, when I start to compare myself, I also start to judge. And when I start to judge someone, good versus bad, I'm in the wrong and they're better, that leads to a draining of energy, and it kind of closes me off to other opportunities and to seeing my own strengths. You have to remember, we are all unique. We are all different. We all have strengths and characteristics that really define us and make us individuals. And so in moments of self-doubt, it's really important to remember that you are right where you're supposed to be on your own journey. You're right where you're supposed to be in your own life. And you are unique in your own special way. And I know that that can sound cliche, but I really actually mean that. We are all our own person. So it's time to start embracing that and being proud of that. So that being said, sorry, I have a little itch. If you are feeling like you are going down that pathway of comparing yourself to others, you're feeling down, you're feeling not good about yourself or insecure, I want you to stop. So here are some key things you can do to turn that around. First of all, just being aware. Number one, just be aware of when you start comparing yourself to others. I think half the time we're not even, aware that we're doing it. We do it subconsciously. We're so used to it, especially with social media. So when you start to see yourself comparing, your vacation to someone else's vacation, your wedding to someone else's wedding, your body and workout to someone else's body, stop, take a second and realize you're doing it. And even start making a note in your phone or on a piece of paper, on a Post-it, whatever you have. You don't even have to write down the incident, but just make a note of how many times a day or a week you are comparing yourself to someone else. Now, when you start to build up this awareness, you are going to be able to spot it, right away. And then when you figure out that you're starting to compare yourself, stop. Back away. Take a breath. If you are on social media, get off. If you are in a situation with coworkers and you're comparing yourself at lunch, change the topic, change the conversation, get up and go to the bathroom, whatever it is, just somehow remove yourself from that situation. And after you've removed yourself and you've kind of already started to shift gears a little bit, I want you to embrace gratitude. Again, start thinking about all those wonderful things in your life that are going well. Start thinking of your strengths, your gifts, what makes you special, what makes you unique. Because even if you're comparing yourself to someone else, and they, and that's kind of bringing you down, remind yourself, okay, this is something that's great for them, that's happening in their life, that they're really excited about and really proud about. What is going well in my life? What can I be really excited about? What can I be really proud about? And how can I remind myself of that, of those strengths, of those gifts? And also remind yourself that it's okay not to be perfect. We are not perfect. Humans are not perfect. We all have our imperfections. And you know what? That gives us character. That gives us opportunity for growth. That gives us, something that we can work on and build upon and change and improve. And that keeps us moving forward. And that kind of opens up all these different opportunities, all these different pathways that you can head down. So I really want to encourage you to embrace your imperfections and be proud of them, and then figure out ways that you can start improving them and making those changes in your life. But it's really key that, people can put on a persona of having the perfect life, of having the perfect job, the perfect family, perfect relationships, whatever it is. But that's surface level. They're just showing that to you. And who knows what's really going on behind the scenes. You don't know the full truth. You don't know the whole story, what's really happening with that person. And I really want you to just keep in mind that everyone has imperfections, and the best thing we can do is just work on them and work towards being, a more whole self, if you will. I also want to remind you that when you're feeling down and you're comparing yourself to someone else, and you start to be more aware of this, and you start to take a step back, and you start to practice gratitude and self-reflection, look back at where you've come, how far you've come. Look back at your own personal journey. And celebrate the achievements you've made so far. Celebrate the action that you've taken. So when I start to, usually when it's at the end of a very long day and I'm tired, and I, go online to do some, research or Facebooking or whatever, and I start to compare myself to others, I have to really take a step back and say, okay, look at what I've done so far. Look at what I've accomplished. Look at all these lives I'm starting to change. Look at how I'm putting myself out there for everyone, so that they can hopefully learn and grow right alongside me. So that's what I have to remind myself of. And the last big thing, and this is a big one, and we'll probably talk about this later, is stop shoulding yourself. So think about how many times you either verbally say out loud or internally think, I should be doing this. I should have done that. I should have reacted this way. I shoulda, right? Shoulda comes up all the time in our lives. And it can also really lead to comparison. When you're looking at someone, or, on social media, or you're comparing yourself to someone in real life, a coworker, a gym buddy, a wedding, a friend, a fellow entrepreneur, whatever it is, whatever your example of comparison is, we often tend to should ourselves. You know, I should have spent more hours working on that project. I should have studied longer for that exam. I should have dieted for 6 extra weeks so that I could have had, you know, a skinnier face for my wedding photos. I have no idea, I'm making this all up right now. But, you know, really be aware of how much you're using that shoulda and what is prompting that. What thought are you having that is making you react with the shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? And figure out, okay, what is this thought coming from and how can I turn it around? The last thing I want to share with you, and this one is huge, is when you start comparing yourself to others. Oftentimes the comparison, like I said, it's draining. We often become resentful or anxious or just kind of down in the dumps negative. And often when we start comparing ourselves to others as a way to kind of fix it, we also start judging others. And we judge them, you know, through the comparison, we're judging them. And what I really want to encourage you to do is turn that judgment into inspiration. Take that negative energy, that low energy that you're feeling that's draining you, and turn it into a positive energy that's going to motivate you. So when you're looking at someone at the gym and you're like, ugh, I should have worked out longer today, instead be like, hey, I have learned by watching someone else some different moves that I can try next time I'm here, and they've inspired me to give it a shot. Or, you know, for me with, you know, kind of comparing myself and judging myself against other entrepreneurs, you know, instead of feeling down about myself, I'm going to feel inspired. You know, how can I be more productive? How can I get a little bit more out of my days? Or how can I approach this from a creative angle that maybe I hadn't thought about, but now they've given me this awesome idea. So when you are feeling like you are starting to compare yourself, when you feel like you're starting to judge others, I really want you to become more aware and help your friends out. Help your friends out and other people in your life who you notice also go down this path. It's a human nature. It's very natural, and we get caught up in it. And I'm not saying that these steps are going to end comparison for you for all time. I know that I will struggle with it on and off, but these are some steps that I can remind myself of in the moment and get myself out of that comparison mode real quick. So when you are feeling yourself going down that path and you're not feeling great about it, become more aware. Figure out, you know, what is it right now in my life that's making me feel like I need to compare and judge others. Stop. Get out of that situation. Turn off Facebook, leave the lunch table, go to another part of the gym, wherever you are. Just take a breath, stop what you're doing, and change your environment. And then really make sure that you reflect on your gifts and your strengths and celebrate where you are in life, how far you've come, and then take whatever energy you have remaining, that's that negative, low judgmental energy, and transform it into a positive, inspirational energy, and just see where that brings you and see how that can make positive changes in your life and kind of re-energize you to jump into whatever your next activity is and to really kind of hopefully, you know, kickstart the next stage of where you're headed. So that was this week's live video all about how you can stop comparing yourself to others and instead get inspiration and joy. And I hope that you have walked away with something to reflect on today. If you have liked what you have seen and heard, if you have resonated with anything that I've shared today, it's a little vulnerable today with you all, then please leave me a comment, like my video, leave me a little wow face, give me some love. And if you have anyone in your life, friends or family, a coworker who is struggling with comparison, tag them in this video so that they can learn a little bit about how they can make some changes in their life and start taking that energy and make it positive and impactful. So thank you guys so much for taking a few minutes to hang out with me today on Facebook Live. I am going to be posting this video on my Facebook page. It will be there forever. It will also hang out on my website and on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check back, it will always be there for reference. And I look forward to connecting with you next Monday at noon so we can jumpstart the beginning of your week and hopefully get you going with some great inspiration and motivation. So enjoy your Monday and take care.